Hey, hun, can you get the lights for me, please?
Yeah, what do you need the... What are you doing?
I'm gonna use the crystal ball for prophecy, and you're supposed to look through the ball, and honestly, your glasses really help me do that.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah.
You're just going to look into the ether of the universe for prophecies that have been foretold previously?
Yeah, how else are you supposed to do it?
There's an app for that.
Seriously?
Yeah.
What, is it called iProphecy?
Maybe on the Apple phone, but this is Android, so it's just Prophecy Finder.
Why isn't it called Prof Finder?
There was already an app for that. That one's about finding professors, though.
How would you know that?
I don't know. I haven't updated that one in about 12 years or so. Does your crystal ball have Bluetooth capability, or does it just need to be plugged in with the... Okay, we're just going to plug it in then. So you need Trelawney ones, right? That's what we're looking for?
Yeah, that's the stuff we learned from the last event.
Good point. Okay, so we just need to go and... Oh, that's right. Prophecies are old, hun. They need a stable platform, and that magic and technology don't often mix. It's the best we can do. What? What's wrong?
There's an app for that?
Oh boy. Okay. So I'm gonna find the prophecies. You work on the manual.
Hello, my witches and wizards. This is Professor Rowan. We just received the information about what's going to be happening in September, and I wanted to share that with you. So it's time to get out your calendars. Yes, I use a student planner because as a professor, my year goes from August to July, not January to December like most people. My lord, it's already September. How can a year both drag incredibly and fly by so fast at like the same time? Feels like yesterday that it was March for 5 years. In the most recent Brilliant event, the first year Brilliant event, we received a lot of information, specifically about a prophecy put forward by Professor Trelawney. In that prophecy, we learned about the Ministry of Fools blaming the grim man. That seems appropriate, don't you think? So while in August we were looking at this prophecy and finding information about it, in September we're going to the ministry, and in my opinion probably going to the Hall of Prophecies to get more information. Anywho, with all of that, it's time to open up your calendars, and our first thing I want to mention is September 2nd. September 2nd is the full moon. So if you are, like me, trying to find some werewolves, then that is the day that you will be able to find them. Our first major event is the Wizzarding Weekend, which is this upcoming weekend. It runs September 4th through September 7th at 11 a.m. my local time. Now, as usually the case with the calendar, I don't know all of the details, but I can tell you that it's going to be magizoology focused. Specifically, there's going to be things looking for both newt scamander and unicorns. If it's anything like the last Wizzarding Weekends, it will have a to-do list. Also, if it's like the last ones, it won't have anything specifically about the fortresses. In order to prestige your pages, I would make sure that you're using some magizoology rune stones in the fortress. We'll have more details for that in the coming week. Immediately after that, starting on September 8th at 11 a.m. my local time, going through September 15th, also 11 a.m., that's Tuesday to Tuesday, is going to be our next Brilliant event. Now, our most recent Brilliant event really felt like it was focusing on first year of Hogwarts, but not... Okay, so not Harry Potter's first year at Hogwarts, because Professor Slughorn was in it. Professor Slughorn wasn't at Hogwarts in Harry Potter's first year. But this Brilliant event, especially from the title, sounds like it's involved with the famous history of Mr. Harry Potter, because it's specifically called the Battle of the Department of Mysteries, which, if those of you are history buffs like myself or is it history? I mean, yes, it was, in the past, but it's within our living timeline. Anyway, as you may remember from the last Wizzarding War, some people actually count the battle at the Department of Ministries to be one of the beginning points of it, especially if they don't consider that Mr. Harry Potter was telling the truth when he was saying that he who should not be named was, back long before that happened. The only thing we really know for certain for the Brilliant event, the first week of the battle at the Department of Ministries, is going to be focused in the Room of Rooms. This is where you're going to find things like the Veil and the Tank of Brains, which we're fairly certain are going to be the Brilliant Foundables you are going to be finding in the wild. I'm skipping around in the calendar, so focus. The second week of the Brilliant Battle of... that's hard to say. The second week of the Brilliant Battle of the Department of Ministries is going to be happening from September 22nd at 11 a.m. my time through September 29th, again another Tuesday to Tuesday. In this one, we specifically know that we will be going to the Hall of Prophecies, hence my previous assumption that that's what this is going to be about. We've got to be finding out more information about this, more information about Trelawney's prophecy, so that we can hopefully, uncover some more information about what's actually going on with the calamity. We also know that the foundables you will be finding in the wild during that time will be the prophecy orbs and Harry Potter himself. I find it interesting that the calamity doesn't seem to be focusing on any particular thing, except occasionally Mr. Potter, but the first year was not Mr. Potter's first year. It couldn't have been, not with Slughorn involved. And also, if you notice the foundable of Slughorn, he was much younger than when Potter met him. But this one is, again, obviously taking place during the time that Mr. Harry Potter was, doing his thing. Okay, now focus, because we're doing a time jump again. Now that we're done talking about the Brilliant event, I do want to mention Community Day. Community Day is going to be September 19th, 24 hours-ish, so 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 p.m., your local time. This is also focused on the ministry, specifically the ministry atrium. We will likely see lots of foundable focus on the ministry officials and the flock of interdepartmental memos. The community days usually also come with a to-do list, and I'm honestly hoping that this one will also take us into the fortress, even though the page that they are specifically mentioning, the ministry atrium, has no fortress-only foundables. The other thing that we do know is that the Brilliant events and the community day will be giving you Defense Against the Dark Arts books, which I know has been the major holding back for me to be able to get the things that I want in the SOS training. As soon as this Brilliant event is over, as soon as I'm finally able to get through the bonus challenge, I will have enough of the Defense Against the Dark Arts book to get the next training I want. Currently, the way I've done my training, my standard Stimula potion is actually stronger than my strong Stimula potion. It's just worked out that way. So I'm wanting to increase the strength of my strongest Stimula potion, so now that they'll still be kind of in order. So what do you think, my witches and wizards? I'm a little concerned or confused by the constant changing of the calendar. I think it has something to do with, holidays in different countries, things like that. I'm also slightly frustrated that they keep giving us such big, important pieces of the lore in Brilliant events, because I know that long-time watchers are aware of this, but people who are just finding us for the first time, I have a slight issue with that. Because people who are joining us tomorrow in the fight against the calamity will not get these major important things. It's not exactly fair to them. I would much prefer this kind of information to be released in, say, a Chapter 2 of Mysteries. If the Calamity and the Department of Ministries is setting this up like an RPG, then in an RPG, you have to make it accessible for whenever anyone is able to enter it. Most people who play an RPG, and by the way, I'm a huge RPG fan, JRPGs, tabletop RPGs, you name it, I play it. So if they're trying to set this up like an RPG, you need to make sure that anyone who enters it can follow it. And the people who follow RPGs, who love RPGs, have a tendency to love them for the story. I'm not the kind of person who reads the last page of the book. The important part is how the main character gets from A to B. The travel, the things you go through to get there. That's the important part. And yes, we're trying to fight a calamity, and it would be wonderful if we could just poof make this gone tomorrow. But the fun part for any kind of mystery is figuring out the questions, the how, the why, the who. And if this information is being released only in brilliant events and not as part of mysteries, as the chapters in the mysteries, then people who are new to it are going to miss out on big chunks of the story. And the story in any hero's quest is the most important part. Thank you for coming to my professorship TED Talk. I am now jumping off of that particular soapbox. So, my witches and wizards, tell me, what do you think? Are you looking forward to this next month? I'm looking forward to finding out more information, even if it's getting released in brilliant events. I do like finding out more information, answering those very important questions. If these videos are helpful for you in planning your month ahead, going, okay, I need to make sure that I'm not working on the 19th, the 12-hour shift, things like that, please like, subscribe, share. It really does help us out. Also, thank you so much to our patrons. You guys make all of this craziness possible. Also, thank you to the person who pointed out to me. I don't remember who it was at this point. Sorry. But thank you to the person who pointed out that the port keys are still taking us to new locations. I had forgotten about that, and I wasn't opening the brilliant port keys, and so I was missing out on some pretty awesome stuff. So I collected a brilliant port key in this brilliant event. I found out that it took you to the leaky cauldron, which was cool. I don't remember ever getting to go there before. So I will in the future also be collecting the port keys, at least one, just so that I can see where we get to go. As always, my witches and wizards, stay safe. So keep your eyes peeled, your ears open, and your wands ready. I'll see you in a couple of days when we're hunting werewolves, and then hopefully be giving you more information about the Wizzarding weekend before the weekend hits.
He who betrayed his friends whose heart froze with murder shall break free. Innocent blood shall be spilled, and servant and master shall be reunited once more.
Oh, I know this one. This is too old. We need a newer one.
Oh, okay.
What you guys up to?
Divination.
I'm out.